Welcome back to Who Died Today, where we honor the stars who made history. Today, we're diving into the legacies of 4 unforgettable talents who passed on October 4th. From the queen of rock and roll, whose voice defined a generation, to the country music legend who broke every barrier, these icons shaped the entertainment world. And trust me, the story behind our one pick will leave you absolutely floored. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more tributes to the legends who shaped our culture. Number 5. Gordon Cooper Jr. Yomir. While Gordon Cooper Jr. may not be a Hollywood actor, his contributions to space exploration left an undeniable mark on pop culture. Born on March 6, 1927, in Shawnee, Oklahoma, Cooper was one of NASA's original Mercury 7 astronauts and the pilot of the famous Faith 7 mission. His space adventures not only inspired future astronauts, but influenced countless movies and TV shows about space travel, like The Right Stuff, where his mission was immortalized. But there's more to Cooper's story. He once shockingly claimed to have seen UFOs during his military career, a revelation that was downplayed by NASA but intrigued the public. Cooper once said, "For many years I have lived with a secret. UFOs are real, and I have seen them." His belief in extraterrestrial life added an air of mystery to his life's work. Trudy was a licensed pilot herself, and one of the few women in the 1950s to earn a commercial license. Their marriage faced its challenges, with Cooper's demanding career putting strain on their relationship. Despite separating, they maintained a strong bond. Cooper remarried Susan Taylor in 1972, and she remained by his side until his death. Cooper's daring spirit was reflected in his famous quote, "I believe that every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine." In 1963, Cooper received the Harmon International Trophy, awarded for his outstanding achievements in aeronautics, solidifying his place in history. He passed away from heart failure on October 4th, 2004, at the age of 77. As his daughter Kamala said, "Dad's heart was too big for this earth." Number 4. Graham Chapman. Graham Chapman, born on January 8, 1941 in Leicester, England, was a founding member of Monty Python's Flying Circus and a comedic genius known for his deadpan delivery and pushing boundaries in humor. From his unforgettable roles in Monty Python's Life of Brian and the Dead Parrot sketch to his sharp wit, Chapman's work has been beloved by generations. However, Chapman's struggles with alcoholism were as famous as his comedy. At his peak, he was drinking several pints of gin a day. In one candid moment, he humorously quipped, "I'm not drinking anymore, but I'm not drinking any less either." Despite these challenges, Chapman continued to produce groundbreaking comedy, fearlessly tackling taboo topics like religion and sexuality. Chapman's openness about being gay was revolutionary at a time when it was illegal in Britain. His long-term partner, David Sherlock, remained a steadfast companion throughout his personal struggles. Together, they adopted a son, John Tomacook, and Chapman's family life was as unconventional as his humor. Sherlock once said he was fearless, but never without love. He devoured life with a passion. In 1989, Chapman passed away from complications related to throat cancer on October 4th, just one day before Monty Python's 20th anniversary. Chapman's famous Monty Python co-star John Cleese gave a legendary eulogy at his funeral, saying Graham Chapman, co-author of the Parrot sketch, has kicked the bucket, hopped the twig, bit the dust. Despite his death, Chapman's influence on comedy remains everlasting. He is fondly remembered as a trailblazer for both his comedy and for legacy entertainment. Number 3. Diahann Carroll. Born on July 17, 1935, in the Bronx, New York, Diahann Carroll was a pioneer for black actresses in Hollywood. Her role as the titular character in Julia in 1968 broke racial barriers, making her the first African-American woman to star in a non-servant role on television. This groundbreaking show earned her a Golden Globe Award and an Emmy nomination, making her a household name. But Carroll's personal life was just as dramatic as her career. Married 4 times, her most notable marriage was to singer Vic Damone, from 1987 to 1996. Their relationship, often filled with public separations and reconciliations, was the subject of Hollywood gossip. Despite their rocky love life, Carroll once remarked, "We loved each other deeply. But some loves are not meant to last forever." She was open about her emotional struggles during that time, revealing a more personal side of the star often hidden from the public. Carroll was also involved in a famous affair with Sidney Poitier in the 1960s, both married at the time, causing waves in the press. She addressed this in her memoir, The Legs Are the Last to Go, saying, "Sidney was my greatest love, but the world wasn't ready for us." Her legacy extended far beyond her personal controversies. Carroll was a fierce advocate for breast cancer awareness, having survived the disease herself. She used her platform to raise awareness and once said, "We all have ability. The difference is how we use it." Carroll passed away on October 4, 2019, after a long battle with cancer, surrounded by her daughter Suzanne Kaye. Her impact on the industry and on breaking racial barriers in Hollywood continues to inspire generations of performers. Number 2. Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the queen of country music, was born on April 14, 1932, in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky. She rose from poverty to become one of the most influential voices in country music. Her songs about heartbreak, love, and struggle resonated deeply with audiences. But it was her marriage to Oliver Doolittle Lynn that shaped much of her music. While married at just 15, their volatile relationship fueled hit songs like "Don't Come Home A Drinkin' with Lovin' on Your Mind." Though their marriage was filled with hardships, Lynn often credited Doolittle for pushing her to pursue a career in music. "I married Do when I wasn't but a child, and he was my life from that day on," Lynn said in an interview. Their love, though turbulent, was the inspiration for many of her greatest hits. One of Lynn's most controversial songs, "The Pill," tackled the topic of birth control and women's reproductive rights, which was considered taboo at the time. Many radio stations refused to play the song, but Lynn's response was unapologetic. "I wasn't going to apologize for singing about real life." This rebelliousness earned her a place in the hearts of many fans. In 1972, Lynn made history by becoming the first woman to be named CMA Entertainer of the Year. She was later inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1988 and was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2013. Despite facing personal tragedy, including the loss of her son Jack Benny Lynn in a drowning accident in 1984, she continued to record and perform, channeling her grief into her music. Lynn passed away peacefully on October 4, 2022, at her home in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Her longtime friend Dolly Parton remarked, "Loretta wasn't just country music, she was the heart of America." Lynn's legacy as a pioneering female artist and her contributions to country music will be remembered for generations. Number 1. Janis Joplin. Finally, we arrive at Janis Joplin, the queen of rock and roll, whose electrifying voice and soul-bearing performances defined a generation. Born on January 19, 1943, in Port Arthur, Texas, Joplin's raw blues rock sound made her a symbol of the 1960s counterculture. But despite her fame, Joplin struggled with addiction and insecurity, once saying, "On stage, I make love to 25,000 people. Then, I go home alone." This vulnerability endeared her to fans but also reflected the personal demons she battled. Joplin's career exploded after her iconic performance at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967. Her hits like "Piece of My Heart" and "Me and Bobby McGee" became anthems of the era, yet Joplin's personal life remained tumultuous. She had relationships with both men and women, including a significant and complicated relationship with Peggy Caserta. Caserta later said of Joplin, "Janis was so full of love, but she was always scared that love would leave her." Her battle with heroin was widely publicized, and though she attempted to get clean, she couldn't escape her addiction. In a letter to her parents just weeks before her death, Joplin wrote, "I'm really happy with my band and I'm doing well." Tragically, just weeks after writing this to her parent, Joplin was found dead in her hotel room in Hollywood on October 4, 1970, from a heroin overdose. She was only 27 years old, joining the infamous 27 Club alongside Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison. Despite her short life, Joplin's influence on rock music is timeless. In 1995, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and her posthumous album Pearl remains one of the best-selling albums of all time. Her former lover and fellow musician Country Joe McDonald summed up Joplin's life poignantly, saying, "Janis didn't overdose on heroin. She overdosed on Janis Joplin." Her legacy continues to inspire musicians and fans alike. Joplin once said, "You can destroy your now by worrying about tomorrow." And though her tomorrow never came, her voice and spirit will forever echo through the annals of rock and roll history. And there you have it, folks, 5 incredible stars who left us on October 4th, but whose legacies continue to shine bright. From the cosmic adventures of Gordon Cooper to the boundary-pushing comedy of Graham Chapman, the pioneering strength of Diahann Carroll, the country queen Loretta Lynn, and the earth-shattering voice of Janis Joplin. These legends may be gone, but they'll never be forgotten. Which of these stories touched you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you loved this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more untold stories of Hollywood's greatest. Until next time, keep their memories alive.